Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 1 of Game of Thrones, the board game. Obviously, Game of Thrones is a multiplayer game, but we're doing a walkthrough just to sort of help me get used to the game mechanics and the rules. So it's not really a solo play, it's more of a walkthrough. But this is Episode 4. We are on Round 7. So we're going to jump right in. We'll do a quick recap of Round 6 and then jump into Round 7. Quick shout out to Pontos Fathom Press, our other channel, where we do a monthly podcast on different topics. Check out these books by Billy Ariak, The Wounded and Head for Salome. Links below. Purchase these. They definitely help out the channel. You can also support us on Patreon, like, subscribe. So thanks a lot for your support and for watching. And this is Game of Thrones month. We're going to be doing Game of Thrones board game. We've got unboxings. We've got Risk Game of Thrones coming up next. And also kind of a funny one of the Game of Thrones Clue, which is maybe that's our Saturday night board game night game. So let's jump into review of round 6, and we'll jump into Round 7. So in Round 6, biggest news is House Stark took Dragonstone from House Baratheon. They were able to do that across the ship bridge. House Baratheon took Sunspear, which is House Martell. They took that. Next is House Lannister moving south, trying to recover from where their landlocked state. And House Greyjoy has taken Seaguard. So let's jump into turn 7, or round 7. So Westeros Phase first. We get mustering. Winter is coming. And put to the sword. So we start out with mustering. Recruit new units in strongholds and castles. So let's go ahead and do that, starting out by the Iron Throne with House Baratheon. They've lost Dragonstone, but they do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1. So they wait a minute. They've got River Run for 2. They've got Harrenhal for 1. They've got Crackle Claw Point for 1. So that's 2, 3, 4. They've got Storm's End 5. And they've got Sun Spear 6, 7. So they've got 7. Wow, that's a great mustering for them. So they have 7 that they can advance with. So let's kind of go through. And so right here in Sunspear, they have an army already. They can upgrade. Oh, they're not here. River Run. They will upgrade to a knight. And then also have a other army. On Harrenhal, they can have a unit. On Crackle Claw, they can have a unit. And on Sunspear, instead of having well, they can do 2 here. So what they'll do is they will... well, they've already upgraded everything. So why don't they put a fleet item for 2 fleet items here outside. So they put those next to this. And this is 3. They're able to have 3 and 3. So 3, 3. They can't have that many 3s. So I guess they'll just do 1 here. And that's it. So they just add 1 extra ship here. So that's fine. So that's Dragonstone. That's Baratheon. Next up is Lannister. So Lannister's mustering is only 1, 2. So what they will do is they will add 2 to their position here, and that's it. So that's great for them, and Lannister is able to have quite a bit of supplies because of their port has 2 barrels here. So that's great. So next is House Stark. House Stark is able to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 also. So they get 7. So let's get House Stark ready for a siege, perhaps. So we can have a siege item spawned at Winterfell. They have 2 siege items spawned at Winterfell. Well, I guess you have to do a meeple and then a siege, right? So maybe they can just have that. We'll add this here. We'll add that siege here. We'll upgrade this one to a knight here on Mount Callan. And on Dragonstone, we will also add a ship for one and another knight. And they are able to have 3. They're actually here now. Supply reckoning. Right, so they have 3. Put this in adjacent space. 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay. And lastly is Greyjoy. They get 2, 3, 4. So they get 4. They already have 3 here. So they can put a ship out in the sea for 2. And then they can, this ship is out here. And then they can also have 2 here. So Greyjoy is able to have just 1 3, so they will do that, and then they will upgrade it to a knight. And we are all set with our mustering phase. Knight here. Okay. Mustering phase is complete. Let's move that to the bottom. Next one is winter is coming. Immediately, winter is coming. Immediately shuffle this deck and then draw and resolve a new card. So we will go ahead and get this deck shuffled. And we'll pick a new card. Dark Wings, Dark Words. The holder of the Messenger Raven token chooses. So House Lannister gets to choose. Everyone bids on 3 influence tracks. Everyone collects 1 power token for every power icon. This card has no effect. I guess that House Lannister would probably pick to bid. So let's just do a quick bidding. And we'll just kind of take a couple tokens from everyone randomly here. And see how things work out. So bidding on. So we'll just kind of pay off this. And let's kind of reshuffle these as House Lannister wins this, and House Stark wins this, and House Baratheon wins this. So we've shuffled them up a bit. We've cashed some tokens. Okay, so we've got a reshuffle of the influence, so we can do that. So that was a great move by Lannister. Let's move that to the bottom. And then finally, card 3, put to the sword, the holder of the Valyrian Steel Blade. So now the holder of the Valyrian Steel Blade is House Stark. They can either do defensive orders cannot be played or no restriction. I think they will go to defensive orders cannot be played. So House Stark will play their sword token and defensive measures cannot be played. So the sword token gets played here. And we'll move that to the back. So we'll leave that out to remind us. Okay, so that is the end of the Westeros deck. We don't need to look at the card. Who's the new holder of the Kings of the Raven is now House Baratheon, and the King of Thrones is House Lannister. They're sitting on the throne. So let's just have House Baratheon look at the card, and it says Rattleshirts Raiders, and they'll leave it at the top. Okay? And then let's go off to the planning phase. So let's assign the orders. Okay, so we'll start out with Baratheon. Oh, actually, we start out by the Lannister. And then we'll go to number 2 is House Baratheon. And number 3 is House Stark. And House Stark will, since we're actually playing House Stark, we'll kind of take our time with this one. So let's think about what we want to do. I believe we will go and attack. I think we'll do a raid here. We'll do a raid here. And I think we'll do a mobile here. And we'll defend here. And we will put a crown here. And we will put a mobilize here. And lastly, we will put a crown here. And lastly, we will put a defend here. Actually, that should have been a fight. So let's resolve that fight. We missed that fight last time. Okay, and finally, House Greyjoy. House Greyjoy gets to go. And we will accordingly place there. Okay, so assign orders has been completed. Let's move on to reveal orders. So reveal orders first, we go with House Lannister. And we have a raid, a mobilize, and a crown. So raid gets to nullify this raid. Let's just turn them all over first. Yeah, this was a mess up on my part. I'm going to have to just have that resolved there. Okay. So let's take a look at all of our components. So first we'll go with House Lannister. House Lannister has a raid against Baratheons here, and this raid is knocked out. So we'll move them back. Next, Lannister will also claim this area. They need every area they can claimed. Next is House Baratheon. They will. Do they have any raids? They do not. These two. This raid cancels this, and this raid cancels this. So Baratheon. And then finally, is there another raid here? This raid cancels this one. So I believe everyone has been, all the raids have been resolved between all the houses. Oh, and then there's finally this one I did not turn over. It's a crown one. Okay, so raids have been resolved. Let's move on to the action phase of resolve march orders. So first march order, we have to contend with this battle. There's a sea battle that has to happen here, so let's just get that completed. House Stark and House Baratheon. This is one we just sort of didn't catch last time. So House Davos is there, and then House Rouse Bolton. If you lose the combat, return your entire house discard pile into your hand, including this house. So we have 2, 4, and we have 2, 1, +1, and +2. So that's 5 to 4. So they retreat back. They'll have to retreat to the Blackwater Bay, let's say. And we discard the cards. We move this out, and House Stark has won that sea battle. So that was just a leftover from last play. I forgot to resolve that. So let's go into. Let's start out with Lannister. Any other movements for Lannister? No. Then let's go to Baratheon. Any movements left? This one movement here. They will move. They'll move here to take the King's Landing. Oh, but they have to take this. Is it theirs? No, it's neutral. So they get. They don't get the support from that. So let's hold off on that. Let's have them move. Oh, can they have this support from here? No. Let's have them mobilize then to. They're going to choose not to play. They will not play. Yeah, so they won't play, and that will just move Baratheon out of here. Okay, so let's go to, next is House Stark. House Stark has a -1, so they can move. Do they get 3 army? 2? No, they only have 1 army, so they can move this siege weapon here, and they're going to support here. I did not put a move there, so let's grab one from House Stark here. I forgot to add that. Oh no, that was actually a raid. Sorry. Okay, so that raid is completed. This move is completed. That support can stay there, and this move I will move them to this spot. Okay, so that resolves House Stark, and finally House Greyjoy. House Greyjoy will move here to fight House Lannister. Oh no, they don't have a move, they're just defending. So let's keep them defending here. And can pull that one out. And this one is a defense. So move it out. Move it out. These are all cleared out. Okay. The action phase is march orders are completed. And we will go to the resolve consolidate power. So we have one. We start out with Lannister. 1, 2 for Lannister. Baratheon has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8. Put their tokens here. Next is House Stark. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 4 tokens I can add to theirs. And finally, House Greyjoy. They have 1, 2. Greyjoy adds 2. Okay, Greyjoy has their power tokens now, and consolidate phase is done. Let's clean up, and we will go into round 8. So for round 8, once again, let's jump right into the Westeros phase. Mustering again. Did we put the card in the bottom? Yeah, so mustering again, Clash of Kings, and Wildlings Attack. So for mustering, recruit new units and strongholds and castles. Let's start out with House Lannister. So House Lannister has 1 stronghold. And they can upgrade both of these to knights. So they've got both of these are upgraded to knights. Next is House Baratheon. They've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can upgrade this to a knight, maybe they'll make it a siege tower. And maybe they'll make this one a siege tower also. Actually, they can't, so they can just do... Can Baratheon... Does Baratheon have enough to have 2 3s? Yeah, they have 2... Well, they already have this 3 here. So they'll have to stay with that. They don't have an extra knight. So that's that for them. And then they can add 2 here and 2 here as well. So Baratheon is fully set up. Next is House Stark. They are able to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they get 7. Again, they will do... they are able to have 3, 2, 2, 2. So they've got 3 already. 2. Let's have them 2, 2, 2. 3, 2, 2, 2. And then they can upgrade one of those, I believe. Nope, that's it. No more tokens to upgrade. So they're complete. And finally, Greyjoy. They have 2, 3, 4. And they're upgraded. They can have a 3 and a 2 and a 2. They can't do anything else. So Greyjoy is complete. And that is the end of mustering. Clash of Kings. Bid on the 3 influence tracks. So again, let's take some tokens for everyone, and we'll shuffle up the winners. And Baratheon puts in a bunch, so they're back to position 1. Greyjoy's back to position 1, and Stark is moved to position 2. So that means Greyjoy gets the sword back. The Game of Thrones goes back to Baratheon, and the Raven goes also to Baratheon. So they've got 2. They've got quite an advantage now. Okay, and then finally the third card is Wildlings Attack. So Wildlings will attack. They've got 4. So if everyone just puts in... So everyone puts in. The total here is House Stark is 3. 0 for Lannister, 1 for Greyjoy, and 2. So we've beaten the Wildlings. The card says Rattleshirts Raiders. Night's Watch Victory. Highest bidders increased 1 position in the supply track. No higher than 6. So we get to move to supply track of 4 now. So supply track is 4. That means we get to have extra armies. So this is good for us. We can move these tokens, reset the Night Watch, and place the Wildlings Victory card at the bottom of the deck. So that's awesome. House Stark is totally advancing there in the supply so they can get more armies. So it is the 8th round. I think House Stark needs to make a bold move here to resolve, to get into Greyjoy. Maybe they're going to go after Greyjoy big time here. So we will move from the Westeros phase to the planning phase. So we'll start out with Baratheon. And we'll set up House Baratheon here, 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 and here. So Baratheon's got their planning phase done. Next is Lannister. Bert. Lancaster. Okay, so here's Lannister. Next is Stark, I'm actually playing as House Stark. So House Stark I think they will try to attack the Greyjoys. So maybe they will attack all here. So let's really focus on attacking here. So let's do an attack here and another attack let's try to use a -1. Let's see if we've got another one here that we can use. Here's a +1 attack here. So they'll all attack there. We'll have these guys be in support. We'll have these guys do the crown. And we'll have these guys also plan a raid. And we'll have these guys also defend. Okay, so that's them. Stark is finished, and lastly is Greyjoy. And Greyjoy will have this and this and this and this and this. Okay, so the reveal phase. So we'll head into the reveal phase, starting out with Baratheon. Baratheon first, then Lannister. So Lannister has a mobilize, has a raid, 2 raids, and a mobilize. Baratheon also has mobilize and support. Stark has crown, consolidate, support, mobilize, and Greyjoy has mobilize, raid, mobilize, raid, and raid. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute on the Raven. We don't need Westeros. We just fought the Wildlings, so Baratheons will not choose to look at the Wildlings. I think we're okay. Raid will counter this piece. Raid will counter this piece. This raid just comes out. This raid will counter this attack. And that's the raids all accounted for. Next is the mobilize. So this mobilize for the fleet will have 1 ship come across to here, to Starfall, and then we can maybe move these troops there as an attack next round. So that mobilize comes out. And next one for Baratheon is, this is defend and defend, so they're fine. This one here is a raid also, so this can go against here, I guess. So these raids cancel out each other. Baratheon and Stark. Next is this Stark should be revealed. Let's just so this raid also can be reconciled here. Greyjoy. And then finally, so there is, okay, so I think we'll have his house, Lannister now, is going to attack into, from Lannisport to Riverrun. So they have a -1 on their attack, but they're going to kind of go in there and try to take this away from the Baratheons. So let's have a combat here. So they have using Tywin Lannister versus Stannis Baratheon. Wow, Tywin Lannister versus Stannis Baratheon. Like, what a fight. Guys, check this out. That's exciting. It's like you couldn't make it better. Stannis Baratheon versus Tywin Lannister. It's like really the true rulers of the house in some way, right? So we've got here, they've got -1 here. So it's 2, 4, 6 -1 is 5. And 4 is 9. And they have 2, 3, 7. But this says if you win this combat, gain 2 tokens. If your opponent has a higher position on the Iron Throne influence in you, this card gains 1 combat strength. Wow. That's cool. So this gets another 1. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. And they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But a Tywin Lannister wins, takes this from the Baratheon. So Stannis Baratheon destroyed by Tywin Lannister. Cool. That's a cool turn. I like that. So the Lannisters have now advanced to River Run. And let's just claim this while we're here, because I just feel like their victories are so fragile right now. Lannister has been very beaten down. And, okay, so that was a great combat. Let's do some more combats here. So we have, this is defense 1, no need, no need. So these can be cleared. Okay, and then next, House Stark will be moving these tokens in. It's actually a siege token, and these tokens in. So this is my +1 and +0. So again, we have Stark versus Greyjoy. This could, and the Greyjoy also has the sword. So let's throw that sword here as well. So Greyjoy has the sword, and Greyjoy will play Theon Greyjoy. Poor Theon. Wow. If you are defending in an area containing a stronghold or castle, this guard gains +1 combat. Wow, great luck for them. And then for us, we will go full nuclear with Ned Stark. Ned Stark's getting his revenge in this game. So Ned Stark, Eddard Stark here. So let's count it up. So we've got a siege tower 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 versus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They retreat back to somewhere, back to, I don't know where they can retreat to. Maybe to here, and they knock down. Let's have them retreat to here, because they can't move back to where the armies are, and they can't move to this space, so they have to retreat somewhere. So they retreat here. So this token is gone. The Iron Sword can go back here, and then we have taken the Sea Guard. So House Stark has taken Sea Guard from House Greyjoy. And then House Greyjoy has a ability to mobilize as well. This ship can attack. These can attack. Let's have House Greyjoy go on an attack, and this ship can attack as well. So Greyjoy will attack here, which is the Flint's Finger. So let's just resolve this attack. So Greyjoys have their sword. They've already used their sword. They have Aeron as their attacker. And the total count here is -1 +1, 2, 4, 5. And then you may immediately discard 2 of your available power tokens to discard A and W and choose a different house card for him if able. They have no more house cards, so they have to keep that one. And then we will put Umber in place here from House Stark. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 5 and 6. 7 versus 6. They retreat back here. They've lost the Flint's. We've not lost Flint's Finger. We retain Flint's Finger, and we discard these cards. So wow, that was a huge turn. Lots of exciting moves there. House Greyjoy out of house members, and clean up. Let's do the reconcile phase. So we've got House Stark. House Baratheon has got 2, 3, 4. So they get 4 tokens. House Lannister has they've taken this, so they get 1. Only the 1. So they have 1. House Stark has 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. They get 5. And they have 5. And then finally, House Greyjoy has 1. That's it, 1. Okay. So 1 for House Greyjoy. So we'll place those after. And then finally, let's just resolve the castles in order. So Baratheon has 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 4 castles, so they are here. House Stark has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. House Stark is moved to 6. House Lannister, 2. 1, 2. Lannister has moved up to 2. And House Greyjoy has moved down to 1. So House Greyjoy is definitely losing. Okay, so we're moving that up to 9. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to wrap this one up. We'll see you in the next turn here. It'll be round number 9. And thank you for watching, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.